Look around your bedroom. Not your phone, not the screen, your bedroom. Because the place where you sleep is the place where your energy resets every single night. And yet, most people unknowingly turn their bedroom into a magnet for poverty, stress, and bad luck. You work hard, you pray, you hustle, but something invisible keeps pulling you backward. In Buddhism, it is believed your outer space reflects your inner fate. If your bedroom holds the wrong energy, no amount of effort will bring peace or wealth. In this video, I will reveal 7 things you should never keep in your bedroom. Things that silently attract financial blockage, misfortune, and mental decay, according to Buddhist wisdom and real-life psychology. Some of these are extremely common. Most people ignore them, and that's why most people stay stuck. Before we begin, like this video to remove negative energy from your space. Subscribe if you want clarity, discipline, and inner power in your life. Now listen carefully, because once you see this, you cannot unsee it. 1. Broken or damaged items, the silent signal of decline. Look closely around your bedroom. A cracked mirror leaning against the wall. A clock that stopped ticking months ago. A lamp that flickers but never gets replaced. A table chipped at the edge, ignored every day. You see them, but you tell yourself, "It's fine. I'll fix it later." And that sentence, "I'll fix it later," is where the problem begins. In Buddhism, broken objects are not just physical damage. They represent interrupted flow, a disruption in harmony, a symbol of decay that has been accepted instead of corrected. Every night, as you sleep, your subconscious absorbs the message these objects send. Not loudly, not aggressively, but persistently. They whisper while you rest. Things stay unfinished. Problems are tolerated. Nothing ever gets fully repaired. And slowly, without you realizing it, this belief seeps into your life. You start accepting less. You delay decisions. You tolerate situations that should have been corrected long ago. This is how poverty enters, not suddenly, but quietly. A broken clock doesn't just stop time. It tells your mind that progress can pause indefinitely. A cracked mirror doesn't just reflect your face. It fractures your self-image, reminding you, subtly, that something is wrong, even when you can't explain what. Buddhism teaches that the environment you sleep in becomes the environment of your mind. And the environment of your mind becomes your destiny. Wealth, real wealth, does not grow in neglected spaces. It grows in places where order, care, and completion exist. A wealthy mind lives among wholeness, not excuses. Among things that function, not things that are almost fine. When you allow broken items to stay beside you while you sleep, you are teaching yourself, night after night, that decay is acceptable, and decay never attracts growth. So understand this clearly. If something in your bedroom is broken, it is not harmless. It is not neutral. It is training your mind to accept limitation. Repair it, replace it, or remove it completely. Because the moment you choose wholeness in your space, you begin restoring wholeness in your life. And that is where progress and prosperity begins. 2. Unused or old clothes, the weight of old identities. Your bedroom is not a warehouse for the past. Yet open your cupboard. Clothes you haven't touched in years. Outfits that no longer fit your body or your life. Fabrics soaked in memories of failure, heartbreak, struggle, or a version of you that no longer exists. You keep them saying, "Maybe one day." But Buddhism teaches something brutal and simple. Attachment to what was is the root of suffering. Every unused piece of clothing carries an identity, a role you once played, a chapter that already ended. And when these clothes remain where you sleep, they don't stay silent. At night, when your conscious mind shuts down, your subconscious listens. Those clothes whisper, "This is who you were. This is what you settled for. This is where you stopped." You are not just sleeping among fabric. You are sleeping among old selves. And when you sleep among old identities, you silently reject new opportunities. Growth requires space. Wealth requires movement. But unused clothes create energetic congestion, a crowded mind, a crowded future. In Buddhism, letting go is not loss. It is liberation. Poverty does not always come from an empty bank account. It comes from a full cupboard of things you no longer are. You delay abundance not because you lack ability, but because your environment keeps telling your mind, "Stay the same. Don't evolve." Don't step forward. That jacket you wore during hard times. That dress from a broken relationship. That shirt from when you doubted yourself. They carry emotional residue. And emotion, unresolved emotion, as weight. A mind weighed down cannot rise. A future crowded with the past cannot expand. If you haven't worn it in a year, it has already served its purpose. It does not belong beside your sleep. It does not belong beside your dreams. Release it, because the moment you clear your space, you send a powerful signal to your subconscious. I am ready for the next version of my life. And that decision, more than money, more than luck, is what opens the door to change. 3. Electronic clutter, the invisible theft of peace. Your bedroom is meant to heal you. It is the one place where your mind should finally lower its guard, where your body should feel safe enough to shut down, where tomorrow's strength is quietly rebuilt. But look around. A phone glowing beside your pillow, a laptop within arm's reach, a television staring back at you like an unblinking eye. You call it normal. Buddhism calls it restlessness disguised as comfort. The Buddha spoke often about the wandering mind, a mind that never rests, never settles, never becomes still. And nothing keeps the mind wandering like constant stimulation. Even when the screen is off, your nervous system remembers it is there. Your brain stays alert. Your body stays tense. You are lying down, but you are not resting. Sleeping beside electronics keeps your system in survival mode. Notifications trained your brain to expect interruption. Light trained your eyes to resist darkness. Noise trained your thoughts to race. An alert mind does not attract abundance. It attracts anxiety. It attracts exhaustion. It attracts impulsive decisions that slowly destroy financial stability. Buddhism teaches that clarity is born from stillness, and stillness cannot exist in a room full of digital noise. Wealth grows in calm minds, minds that can think clearly, choose wisely, and act deliberately. Peace is not just emotional, it is economic. A restless mind spends more, panics faster, and trusts less. A calm mind sees opportunities others miss. When your bedroom is filled with screens, you rob yourself nightly, not of sleep alone, but of wisdom. At night, your senses must close, not stay half open. Your thoughts must soften, not stay sharp. Your mind must descend, not scroll endlessly. Reduce the screens, not as punishment, but as mercy. Let darkness return. Let silence enter. Let your nervous system remember what safety feels like. Because when peace enters your bedroom, prosperity finds its way into your life. 4. Trash, dust, and hidden dirt, the silent accumulation of stagnation. Look under your bed. Not casually, not quickly. Really look. Dust thick enough to write your name in. Forgotten wrappers. Objects pushed aside because no one sees them anyway. But Buddhism teaches a hard truth. Nothing is ever truly hidden from the mind. Cleanliness, in Buddhist wisdom, is not about appearances. It is about discipline, awareness, and respect for life. Dirt is not just dirt. It is stagnant karma, energy that has stopped moving. When dust gathers, it means attention has been withdrawn. When trash remains, it means neglect has been normalized. And what you normalize in your space, you normalize in your life. Hidden mess creates hidden problems. You may not see them daily, but your subconscious does. Every night as you sleep, your mind absorbs the message. There are things I'm avoiding. There are things I'm postponing. There are things I pretend don't exist. This is how clarity disappears. Money flows where energy flows. But dust blocks flow. Trash blocks intention. Hidden dirt blocks self-respect. In Buddhism, stagnation is dangerous because it feels quiet, but it spreads. Just like dust accumulates silently, financial stress, emotional fatigue, and mental confusion build slowly, until one day your life feels heavy and you don't know why. A cluttered, dirty bedroom creates a cluttered future. You begin to tolerate discomfort. You delay action. You accept disorder. And disorder never attracts abundance. Clean your bedroom not as a chore, but as a ritual. Each piece of trash removed is a decision to stop avoiding. Each layer of dust wiped away is a signal to your mind. I am in control. I am aware. I respect my space and myself. When you clean where you sleep, you clean where your future is being built. Because the place you rest your body is the place your destiny quietly forms. And nothing powerful grows in neglect. 5. Mirrors facing the bed when your mind never fully rests. This belief is ancient, older than modern psychology, older than design trends, older than science trying to explain what intuition already knows. In many Buddhist and Eastern teachings, mirrors facing the bed are avoided for one simple reason. They prevent the mind from surrendering completely. A mirror is not just glass. It is a surface that reflects, duplicates, and amplifies. When a mirror faces your bed, it does something subtle but powerful. It keeps the mind half awake. Even with your eyes closed, your nervous system senses presence, movement, reflection. Your body wants to rest, but your mind stays alert. Buddhism teaches that true rest happens only when the mind dissolves its sense of separation, when it stops watching itself. A mirror interrupts that process. It reflects restlessness back into the mind. It multiplies thoughts when silence is needed. It turns sleep into shallow escape instead of deep recovery. And shallow sleep has consequences. A tired mind makes poor financial decisions. It reacts instead of responding. It spends impulsively. It fears risk, but also misses opportunity. Over time, this creates emotional poverty, a constant feeling of being behind, drained, and unsettled. Your bedroom should absorb peace, not reflect chaos. But a mirror facing the bed keeps reminding the mind, you are being watched. You are separate. Stay alert. And a mind that never fully rests never fully heals. In Buddhist understanding, mental stability is the foundation of right action. Without stability, wisdom collapses. That is why monks sleep in spaces of simplicity. No reflections, no distractions, no duplication of the self. If a mirror faces your bed, change it. Not out of fear, out of respect for your nervous system. Turn it away, cover it at night, or move it completely. Because when the mind finally stops watching itself, peace enters. And peace, quiet, steady peace, is where clarity, strength, and prosperity begin. 6. Sad or violent images. What your eyes feed your destiny. Now stop and look at your walls. Not casually, not as decoration, as messages. Dark artwork filled with pain, faces frozen in loneliness, scenes of violence, chaos, or loss. Photographs tied to heartbreak, failure, or grief, framed and normalized. You may call it art. You may call it memory. Buddhism calls it mental conditioning. The Buddha taught a truth that modern psychology later confirmed. The mind becomes what it repeatedly sees. Every image is a seed, and your walls are fields where those seeds are planted. You sleep beneath these images. Your conscious mind forgets them, but your subconscious never does. As you rest, your nervous system absorbs their emotion, not the meaning, the feeling, sadness, tension, fear, loss. Slowly, without drama, without warning, your energy aligns with struggle instead of expansion. You begin to expect difficulty. You prepare for disappointment. You brace instead of opening. This is how growth quietly suffocates. Wealth does not grow in heavy emotional climates. It grows where there is hope, light, and mental spaciousness. Abundance requires vision, and vision collapses when the mind is fed darkness daily. In Buddhism, right perception shapes right action. What you see repeatedly becomes what you believe is normal. If pain surrounds you, pain becomes familiar, and what feels familiar becomes what you tolerate. Your bedroom should not remind you of suffering. It should remind you of possibility. Choose images that lift your chest, not tighten it. Images of calm nature, symbols of clarity, scenes that whisper, there is more, there is peace, there is growth. Because your destiny is listening, quietly, to everything you choose to look at, and what you hang on your walls eventually hangs in your future. 7. Excessive money symbols or greed objects. When wanting too much pushes it away. This may shock you, because it goes against everything you were taught about success. Stacks of cash hidden in drawers, unpaid bills placed beside the bed, golden idols, aggressive wealth symbols, constant reminders of money and lack. You believe these attract abundance. Buddhism teaches the opposite. When money enters the place where you sleep, it changes rest into tension. Your body may lie down, but your mind stays awake, calculating, worrying, chasing. This is not abundance energy. This is fear-based thinking. Buddhism warns against attachment. not because wealth is evil, but because obsession poisons clarity. Money chased with desperation never stays. It senses fear. It feels pressure. A mind that sleeps with money symbols is a mind that does not trust life. It grips instead of allowing. It demands instead of aligning. And what you grip tightly always finds a way to escape. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary of surrender, a place where effort pauses and the nervous system recovers. But when greed objects enter that space, sleep becomes shallow, dreams become anxious, morning decisions become reactive. A tired mind spends recklessly or hoards irrationally. Both destroy wealth in different ways. True prosperity requires balance. In Buddhism, the middle way teaches that extremes, poverty obsession or wealth obsession, both create suffering. Money respected with balance stays. Money worshipped becomes unstable. Your bedroom is for rest, healing, and quiet confidence. Not for counting, not for worrying, not for begging the future to change. Peace invites prosperity, because peace creates clear decisions. Clear decisions create stability. Stability creates wealth. Greed repels abundance, not loudly, but gradually. Remove money symbols from where you sleep. Let trust replace tension, because when your mind rests without fear, wealth finally feels safe enough to stay. As we conclude, your bedroom is not just where you sleep. It is where your subconscious reprograms, your energy resets, your future is silently shaped. Change the room, and your life follows. Buddhism doesn't teach luck. It teaches alignment. And alignment decides everything. If this video opened your eyes, like it. Subscribe for more wisdom that schools never teach. Sleep in peace. Wake in power.